Welcome to the yoga method. Today's practice is just a restorative practice to end your day. So come and join us in Sukhasana with your left leg in front of your right and establish beautiful posture as you close down your eyes and begin to cultivate your breath. Let's just take one more deep, deliberate breath in and out. And then just opening the windows of your eyes, let's reach hands up high as we flood the breath into the body. Even lift your chin, lift your chest as you take one more full deep breath that reaches the tips of your fingers. Before taking a gentle side bend, land your right hand, reach a little bit higher before sliding your way up and over. So exploring a little bit of lateral flexion as we ground into the right hand and open through the left side of the torso. If your top shoulder's not happy, just bend your elbow please for a little bit more support. And then choosing to either look to your right hand or the palm of your left. How deeply can you breathe into your left lung? And just notice if your left cheek is getting light, so anchor the pelvis. Taking one more full deep breath in and out. On your inhalation, sit tall, grounding both hands momentarily as we bring the left foot just in front of our right leg. We'll take a deep twist by hugging our right arm to our left knee and using our left hand behind us as an anchor. So exaggerate the lift of your chest and then please just gently turn to look over your left shoulder. So there's 3 points to rotation: the breath, the abdominals, and our arms. So deliberately cultivating all 3. With each inhalation, just that tiny bit taller, longer and lighter. And on your exhalation, ever so subtly deepening your twist. Taking 2 more breaths. One more full, deep, deep breath in and out. On your inhalation, return your eye gaze, please. Gently releasing the twist on the out breath. And we'll lengthen this leg out to the side to come into one of Grant's favorite twists. So you're gluing your left big toe to the earth. And we're checking that we have a 90-degree angle through the hip and the knee. And then please begin to rotate your shoulders towards the short edge of your mat. So for some of us, this may feel like that's all that's available through the hips and the lumbar spine. But if it feels good to your body, you're just lowering down, maybe onto your forearms, maybe all the way down, stacking the palms of your hands. So be long and deliberate through your left leg. And once again, this idea of using your arms and your abdominals to deepen the rotation. And by doing so, we're using the support of our abdominals to enhance the stability while we're seeking to develop a little bit more spinal flexibility. How deeply can you breathe? And how much can you relax through your spine, through your shoulders as you breathe out? Take 3 more breaths. For 2. Could you make your left leg just a little longer before gently releasing? Please slide your hands just underneath your shoulders and we'll just roll over onto our abdominals because we're halfway there. So coming into Sphinx pose, you might find that Sphinx with your elbows underneath your shoulders is a little too strong. So if that's how your back is feeling today, slide your elbows ahead of the shoulder line and it'll be a little bit more gentle on the body. If you're Asian too, we're sliding the elbows back a little further, but we're deliberately pressing down in order to create extension in our spine. And at the same time, we grip with the hands and subtly pull the body forward to lengthen the abdominal wall, to open the front of the body a little more. So your chin position's up to you. Our neck is meant to be able to extend. So there's nothing contraindicated by looking upwards. And at the same time, pressing down through your elbows, broaden your collarbones, and slide your shoulders away from your ears. 3 more breaths on offer. See if you can soften through your ribs a little more. And just notice if you're tensing through your glutes, let your pelvis relax. 1 more full deep breath in. And on the exhalation, easing our way down. We'll see how we go with this next one. Hopefully Grant and I don't fall off. You're going to take your right arm wide, ground into your left hand. You'll bend your left knee, and you'll begin to press with your left hand to roll onto your right shoulder. Now, you might find that you can touch down with your left foot, but if it's not quite getting there, don't worry. Just let the weight of your leg draw you over. From here, you can journey your head to the earth, and some of you will feel quite confident to take a quad stretch at the same time. So we reach for the ankle, and then we take a little look at the knee, because we want to have our thigh parallel to the earth, to our other leg. So we're pressing our pelvis forward, gently engaging our core, kicking our foot into our hand. So creating stability as we seek flexibility, so that we're building strength at the same time that we're creating length. 2 more breaths, please. Just 1 more full deep breath in. And on your exhalation, gently releasing that top leg if you took it. And we'll all gently roll back onto the abdominal wall. Return to your Sphinx pose a second time. So just that reminder that if things are feeling a little sore today, elbows in front of the shoulder line. Variation 2, elbows beneath the shoulder line. And variation 3, I'll ask you to bring your hands just a little wider than your mat. So we'll take a active Sphinx this time, or a seal pose. So on the in-breath, I'd like you to extend as far as your body will allow. And on your exhalation, gently softening down. So you're just choosing to ripple your way, inhaling, lifting, lengthening. And on your exhalation, just easing your way down. So as we extend, if you can think about lower back, middle back, upper back, and your neck. And as we descend, lower back, middle back, upper back, and neck. Just take 2 more. Smoothly breathing in, not forcing the body. Gently, smoothly breathing out, landing low. This is your last time, so pressing gently into the hands, opening front body as we create extension in back body, before slowly, softly coming back to the earth. Once you've arrived safely, just stack your hands for a moment, release your forehead down, and just let your pelvis rock from side to side. Nobody's looking, so just let your hips rock gently. 1 more little bit of movement each direction before pausing in stillness. And when the time is right for you, lifting through your head, it'll be your left arm that's reaching wide, grounding into your right hand, and bending into your right knee. So if you need to move over, please do, before you gently ease your way over to explore the flexibility through your left shoulder, opening through your pec, opening through your anterior deltoid. Variation 1, you'll find a kickstand if you can find the floor. Grant and I can't. Variation 2, you're reaching for your top ankle. You'll press your foot into your hand. You'll press your pelvis forward. And at the same time, a gentle tuck of your tail as you engage the abdominals just subtly. Wherever you are, finding mild sensation. Sensation that holds your awareness, but allows you to breathe freely. Last 3 breaths. For 2. One more goodbye breath, please, before gently releasing the option that you chose. Once you arrive back safely onto the abdominals, hands beneath your shoulders, and let's make our way into child's pose briefly. So knees wide, big toes together, sinking the hips back towards the heels as far as your body will allow, and just softening your forehead down. If your knees or your hips are not happy, lift your hips higher to open up the joints. And if your shoulders just feel a little bit strained, you'll bend your elbows more to take that away. Flood the breath into the back of the body. This beautiful posture where we surrender the wisdom of the head to the deeper wisdom of our hearts. Last 2 breaths. One more full, deep, smooth breath in and out. In your own time, ripple your way up onto your hands and knees before taking a seat. Once again, but this time with your right leg in front of your left. Establish your posture before reaching your hands high. Please exaggerate the lift of your heart, your chin. Take your eyes skywards, and at the same time, melt your shoulders away from your ears. Just one more full breath in before landing through your left hand, reaching high with your right, and easing your way over into your version of a seated side bend. Firmly press into your right hand to help open the right side of the torso, and it will also help you to anchor your hips. Looking at your right hand or your left, and then just breathe as deeply, as fully as you can into your right lung. Last 2. One more full, deep, deep breath in. And on your exhalation, looking down if you're not already, before easing your way up and out. We'll ground into our right foot, pressing into the 4 corners of your right foot before hugging your right knee with your left arm and grounding into your right hand. Begin to gently revolve, looking over your right shoulder. So your right hand acting like a second spine. And then using the breath and the abdominals with the strength of your arms to create a little more depth in your rotation. Ooh, there was a grasshopper. I'm wearing too much green, apparently. Take 3 more breaths. For 2. One more deep, expansive breath in and out. On your inhalation, returning your eye gaze, please. And on your exhalation, release your twist. We'll take our right leg out to the side, and remember the big toe is anchoring to the floor. And then slide your left leg slightly forward before coming down to your forearm for variation 1. So the rotation that we're taking might need to come from the hands supporting you. That might be more than enough. Or you could lower to your forearms, but keep rolling your right ribs towards the floor. And final variation, just following ground all the way down into a deeper expression. Wherever you are, just tuning inwards. So we make an external shape, but then the practice of yoga is from the inside out. So drop into the inner world, feel your inner body, and really sending the breath into the places, into the spaces that are holding the most sensation. And then just where could you soften a little bit more? Is there any place you need to bring a little bit more strength? And just take 2 more breaths, please. One more full, deep, deep breath in and out. In your own time, in your own way, just ease your way up halfway. And what I'd like you to do is now stack both knees. So your hips are at 90 degrees, your knees are at 90 degrees, and you also could create 90 degrees at your ankle. And then from there, please thread your bottom arm forward for a moment, and then bend that bottom arm to cradle your head. From there, you'll reach your top arm forward, which will be your right arm. And we're going to work on shoulder mobility. So you're tracing a half circle. Your fingertips might stay on the floor and they may not. But as you begin to take the top half of the circle, you're going to roll open towards the sky, towards the ceiling. And then reach up and over as the breath comes out of the body. So just in your own time, a half circle as we breathe in. You'll feel where the sticky bits live in this shoulder. And then on your exhalation, coming up and over. Let's do 3 more. So never forcing the body through a painful arc. Just make any little adjustments that you need. And then reaching up and over. The last 2. So really take your time. Rolling open. Maybe you're taking more than 1 breath to get there before you come up and over. This is our last one. And when we reach parallel, so once that shoulder has reached all the way back, I'd like for you to stay right here. Now the hand might find the floor and it may not ever find the floor. And I want you to repeat after me, it just doesn't matter. What we're wanting to feel is just a really beautiful stretch through the right side of the chest and the front of the right shoulder. If that is feeling too strong for you, you'll just bend your right elbow to match your left, and that'll take a little bit of length out of the lever so it doesn't feel as strong. There's 3 more breaths on offer. For 2. One more deep, beautiful breath in and out. When the time is right for you, you'll reach high as the breath comes in and all the way down as the breath comes out. Now, while we're here, we're coming into 1 more quadricep and hip flexor stretch. So you'll reach for your shin or your ankle. And once you have it, you're going to gently draw the leg back as far as your body will allow. Now, in this shape, the knee will want to point up, and some of us it'll want to drop down, but we're endeavoring to parallel the thigh to the floor to maintain the alignment of the hip and knee. So once we're here, we activate the stabilizers above and below by tightening through our right glute gently. So if you press your pelvis forward, and then kick your foot into your hand to stabilize the knee. And if you feel like you need a little extra, you could hook your left foot on top of your right thigh. So the pelvis is pressing forward, the foot is kicking into the hand, and now I'm gently pressing down with my left foot to open the ITB a little bit. So your iliotibial band, just this fascial tissue that runs from the hip past the knee. And you'll just feel probably most likely the most sensation through the front of the thigh and just on the lateral aspect of your knee, the outside part of your knee. So we'll take 3 more breaths. Last 2, please. There's 1 more breath on offer. Where will it take you? before you gently unhook the foot if you took that option and release the knee. Use your right hand just to press the earth away and help yourselves up. As we come through the midline, we'll just pause ever so briefly with our legs wide. So this shape is really super challenging, especially for most men. So my guys, I'm going to ask you to bend your knees because that will allow you to sit on the back of your pelvis, on the bony part of your pelvis, your sit bones. So if you feel like you're in this shape, bend your knees, use your hands, and lift through your chest. And if you're feeling a stretch already, you're doing it beautifully. You don't need to do anything else. If you feel like there's room, you'll lengthen your legs. You'll lift through your heart space. And then only if it feels good, you'll begin to explore a little bit more depth in your stretch. So the hands can stay behind you. They could rest on your shins. They could rest on the floor. You're welcome to reach for your feet. Close your eyes so you are feeling your body, because that's all that matters, is how does this feel to my body? And when you feel the body open and release, then just close the gap, take up the space that has been revealed, the space that has become available. And wherever you are, celebrating your body, celebrating your efforts as we take 3 more breaths together. One more full, deep, glorious breath before we gently ease our way out of the option we took. And we simply need to bring our legs to the other side. Home stretch, crew. So we'll thread our right palm through to the ceiling. We'll check that our hips, our knees, and our ankles are at 90 degrees. Bottom arm bends to cradle our head. Top arm reaches forward. When you're ready, you're tracing a half circle, a semicircle over your head, just challenging the shoulder range of motion. Lots of sticky stuff in there, especially for surfers. Inhaling all the way up and over. So there often can be like a painful point, a painful arc, and you might find you just need to lift your hand off the floor in order to complete your half circle. That's okay. We're just exploring the range that the body has available today. So breathing in your own time, just slowly tracing that half circle. Take your eyes with you to ceiling, and then reach up and over to come back home. 3 remaining. So gently, slowly, in your own time. And up and over on your exhalation. Last 2. Hopefully as we repeat this, it's getting a little bit freer. Up and over we go. Last one's always the best one, right? So we're going to do a half circle. Take your eyes all the way towards your ceiling, towards the sky, and then we're going to stay here. So your heart is open, you're reaching your left arm away. And just a reminder, if it's too strong, bend your elbow and place your hand behind your head, matching the right side. So you might feel how the breath now moves the body. Every time we flood the breath in, that left hand floats a little bit. And every time we allow the breath to leave the body, there'll be a little bit more depth. So allowing gravity in the breath to really open up that left shoulder. Last 2 breaths, please. How deeply can you breathe? How much can you soften? One more breath. And then, beautiful crew, you'll reach up and over. And on your way past, you're going to reach for your left shin or left ankle. Once you have it, you'll draw the thigh back as far as your body will allow. And we're trying to get the thigh parallel to the torso, but it may not get there today. So now we stabilize by tucking the tailbone, pressing the pelvis forward, at the same time kicking your left foot into your left hand. If you feel like you need more, you're welcome to loop your right foot above the left knee. And now it's kind of like this internal tug of war. You're pressing your pelvis forward, you're kicking your foot into your hand, and at the same time you're pressing down with your right foot, but you're not allowing the angle to change. So feeling this through the front of your hip flexor, your quadricep, and I'm hoping you're also feeling it through the outer sweep of your thigh, just slightly. Find your breath. Taking 3 more breaths, please. In through the nose, down deep into the lungs, and then slowly controlling the exhalation. 2 to go. And this is our last one. Flood the breath with your goodness before gently releasing through your legs and pressing your right hand into the earth. Rising up one last time to come to your child's pose, and then we'll just finish with a few moments of stillness in Shavasana. So on this last child's pose, let's just target our posterior deltoid or the back of the shoulder because we haven't done that yet. So we'll lift a little bit and you'll thread your right palm underneath. So the palm is to the ceiling. You'll land your wrist, your elbow. You might be able to get your shoulder down and your head, and you might not, and that's okay. You could leave your left hand by your face for support. You could reach it towards the short end of your mat. But you're also welcome to reach high, flip the hand, and bring that into the curve of the lower back or the crease of your pelvis. So we're pressing down gently with the back of the hand. And at the same time, we're lifting and looping our left shoulder up and back. So finding connection to the sensation. And then sending your breath to the places that need it the most. Last 2. One more full, deep, smooth breath in and out. If you took that half bind, reach high as you breathe in, and then grounding our left hand by our face, we'll unwind ourselves. But before we do the other side, I'd like for you just to turn both palms up, palms together. So you might find in this shape that it's easier to lift the hips a little bit and walk the elbows forward, maybe even tucking the toes. But we're endeavoring to touch our collarbones, not our collarbones, the collar of our shirt, with our thumbs. And then from there, you could melt the thoracic spine down, rib cage towards the earth. But we're finding just a really, hopefully, beautiful stretch through our triceps, through our lats. So we keep sinking the hips back to open the ankle a little bit more. And most importantly, we then offer the breath to help open the body further. And this particular stretch feels so good with your elbows elevated on your yoga block. So if you have one at home, please by all means grab it, use it. Just 2 more breaths. Grant has been doing a ton of surfing this week, so his shoulders are needing some TLC. 1 more breath, please, before we gently, slowly release the option we took. Once you are there, you'll ground into your right hand, thread your left palm through, and please feel free to leave it right by your face as you settle your wrist, your elbow, your shoulder, and your head to the earth. You could reach towards the top of the mat instead, or that final offer of reaching high with the right hand, flipping it and tucking it into the curve of the lower back or the crease of your hip. Press down deliberately with your left hand and roll your torso slightly open as you loop your right shoulder back and down. Last 2 breaths. Smooth, full, deep. One more breath. And when the time is right for you, just gently easing your way out of your shape. If you took a half bind, reach high as you breathe in. And then we all ground the hand by our face as we unwind our spines. Let's take Shavasana for just a few moments. So rolling your way down towards the earth. And once you've arrived there, hug your knees into your chest. Just deload your spine. A gentle rock from side to side. And if you'd like to take happy baby pose instead, you're welcome to go there, of course. So stacking knees over ankles. Try that again, stacking ankles over knees and knees over armpits. And then allowing the breath to move the body. Keeping this co-contraction between the hands pressing into the feet and the feet pressing back into the hands. And just letting any residual tension in your lower back, in your sacrum, just to be released. And then, beautiful crew, you'll find your stillness before you choose the posture that feels best for you for Shavasana. So legs can go long, claim space with feet, with hands. If there's any soreness in your lower back, you'll bring your feet wide and just let your knees touch and support each other. And of course, pregnancy option, 3rd trimester, you're laying on the right side of your body, or you could prop yourself up on a bolster. Closing down the eyes, flooding the awareness of the body with your breath. And I'd like for you to begin with your awareness at your skin. And just feel this barrier, this defense layer that exists between the external and the internal world. And on your next exhalation, how much could you allow your skin to completely relax? Just allow your skin to completely relax. And then I'd love for you to feel the muscles of your body that bring strength and stability and movement. With gratitude, just feel the muscles of your body. From the crown of the head to the soles of your feet. And just allow your muscles to completely relax as this breath leaves your body. And in your mind's eye, seeing your skeleton, your skeletal system. It gives us shape, it gives us structure, it allows movement to happen synergistically with the muscular system. With deep gratitude, feel your bones. And on your exhalation, allow your bones to grow heavy. And as we dip deeper into the body, just envision your nervous system, knowing that your yoga practice brings balance, harmony, back to the nervous system, quieting down the sympathetic nervous system and allowing the parasympathetic nervous system to promote rest and relaxation. And finally, connecting with your circulatory system as you feel the beating of your own hearts. Can you allow your circulatory system the opportunity to relax? And with your whole body completely relaxed, we celebrate the gift of this body, of this day, of this moment. And with your eyes remaining closed for a moment more, we take one more full, deep, deep breath in and out. Remaining centered in your inner world, begin to connect back to the body, the circulatory, the nervous, the skeletal, the muscular, and finally feeling your skin. And when you are ready, all of those systems work in harmony as you begin to invite movement back into your body, through your fingers, through your toes, a little movement through your ankles, your wrists, a little movement through your shoulders, your hips, maybe even your neck. And when the time is right for you, you'll reach your arms overhead. You'll take a full body yawn from fingertip to toe, energizing and lengthening before sliding the arms down and around, bending your knees one at a time, gathering your knees to your hearts, hugging yourselves really lovingly, rocking your bodies very gently. And only when the time is right for you, rolling to the right-hand side of your body, lingering there for one deep breath before we press the earth away, rising to a seated position, please. Any position that feels good to your body. Lengthening through your spine, bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra. And taking one last collective unified breath together before closing our practice with a bow. Namaste. We hope you've enjoyed this restorative practice, and we hope to see you soon.